Welcome back to the Fighters Block. It's Ant,
This your boy P.
and it's fight week. We about to get into one of the biggest fights of 2017. It's the rematch between Andre Ward and Sergey Kovalev. First fight, it was ended in a controversial decision. So, this time both guys, they're supposed to be bringing it. It's supposed to be personal this go round. So, what's more personal on Kovalev's side, not really personal on Ward's side, Andre Ward said that he's doing this for the fans. So, we're going to see how this is going to turn out. Sergey Kovalev's talking about bringing in a new Russian conditioning coach, changing some of his training regimen. There's been a lot of drama with John David Jackson as far as him being with the camp, or is he trying to jump over to Andre Ward's camp? How do you think all that's been affecting Kovalev mentally, man?
I really think it's definitely not a good look with the drama in the camp, with the trainers, switching up the training camp like that. I don't think it's a good idea. And at the end of the day, the nutritionist can't win a fight for you. You still got to go in there and do what you have to do. We'll see if any of those things benefit them or they work against them, but I honestly don't think it's a good thing for a fight on this caliber for you to have a shaky training camp like that. That's not a solid training camp.
Right. And Sergey Kovalev, he's kind of known as a boxer, puncher. Ward, he's known as just a technical boxer, doesn't have much pop. But Kovalev was trying to say that those punches weren't hurting him, but they must have did something to him. What do you think at the start? How do you think they should start this fight? Do you think Kovalev is going to pace himself? Kind of might be a little superstitious if he might gas himself out, or do you think he has enough conditioning, new training to really exert himself, from round 1 to 12?
I'm going to tell you right now, Ant, round 1 is going to be very telling.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have to think, is Kovalev thinking, I'm just going to go out there and jump on him and finish him? Or is he thinking, I'm going to pace myself? Because, he hurt him early in the last fight. He might feel like, I'm going to hurt him early and get him out of there. But what if you can't get him out of there? We won't know if he's able to go 12 until we see it happen. He went 12 before, but he said out his own mouth that after 5 he didn't have anything. So if he doesn't have anything after 5, he can't win this fight.
Right.
Unless you knock him out in 5 rounds, you cannot win this fight if you don't have anything after 5. It's not possible against Andre Ward.
True, exactly. And when you go back and look at how he set that knockdown up in the first fight, round 2, it was a combination of two things. It was Kovalev trying to set up the right hand. He used his feint in the middle of the ring, but it was also a mistake of Ward. And you never really seen Ward make a mistake like that before. And after that mistake, he never did it again. After the next 10 rounds, he never made a mistake. There was never a point where Kovalev could land a telling blow like that again. So do you really think that he'll be able to, stop Andre Ward? Like because if you look back at the first fight, there was a lot of times he was hitting Ward, but it was just with that jab. He could never really land that right hand clean.
Right. And Ward even admitted that he made a mistake.
Mm.
He paid for it with that shot. He knew exactly what happened to him. Things happen. Maybe the power, had him making adjustments. I don't know, but he knew he made a mistake. And I don't think you knock Andre Ward out And to be honest, I mean, he's not the guy who you knock out. I mean, he's been in there with every style. He's tough. He has a chin. I mean, like you said, Kovalev, he made Kovalev, set up a good shot, and Andre Ward fell into the trap. But after that, like you say, he nullified everything. He wasn't able to get anything flush on Ward again.
Right.
So
Everything was like
great
everything.
example. Yeah.
Yeah. Everything was kind of like Kovalev using his he was using his good timing. He was using good reach. He was touching Ward. But like I said, it was always that jab. He could never really like he's used to. That's why I
Yeah.
just don't really see him knocking him out. Maybe outboxing him, but it's got to nullify that full on power. Like when he got down to the later rounds, Ward was a little bit more comfortable. Like after round 6, he was kind of comfortable with it. I'm wondering like what does he feel he can do different? Does he really think that starting like he did the first fight, rounds 1 through 5, is that really going to win the fight?
And he can't, and he'd be a gambling man because, like I say, Andre Ward is not the type of guy that gets knocked out. I mean,
Yeah, and we think about it, like I said before, I watched that arena view of the fight online, and you can kind of see what punches land and what punches didn't land. You can actually kind of argue rounds 3 and 4 might have went to Ward. One of those rounds could have went to Ward. Now, he didn't actually win all 5 of those rounds. It was kind of
right?
like I said, some of the rounds were kind of a give and take, but a couple of those rounds Ward was kind of working in there. Some
Yeah.
Jim Jim Lampley, you know how he do. He'll scream out a shot to make you think he.
If you don't understand what you're looking at, you don't understand how Andre Ward was working. He
Yeah.
was way back into the fight. He was doing different things to work himself back into the fight, and it worked.
Right. So before we jump to Andre Ward's side, what do you think Kovalev can do to win this fight?
He just got to come in there on his A game, man. Apply the pressure. And try to fight a smart fight. I mean, it's no blueprint to Andre Ward, and I can't really tell you what this guy. It's no blueprint for it. You know what I'm saying?
It's not enough.
You know what I'm saying? So all I can say is come on his A game. If he gassed out in 5 rounds last time, he wasn't on his A game, man.
Yeah.
So I mean,
for me, I think, man, for Kovalev, he might just have to throw out that boxing regimen and just go in there and or he might just have to throw out that boxing plan and try to fight him like a puncher. I think his only bet is to knock him out because yeah, like you said, Ward, he's a smart fighter. He doesn't he learns as he's going. Like most fighters, they got scared of the power when they fought Kovalev, or when they got knocked down, they just said, "I'm gonna survive." But he actually kept getting better and better each round.
absolutely.
It was never a point in the fight where it was like, he kind of doubted himself. He just kept fighting till the end and got better. But that's what I'm saying. If he goes in this fight, he already feels like, okay, I know what I'm doing. I've met this style before, so I just don't see Kovalev outboxing him because Kovalev was boxing him nicely, the first few rounds, but he just doesn't have that ring intelligence, and he don't seem like he have that patience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he
Like we were
seems
talking about too, his mental edge. It seems like he's a little bit like he can break.
easily frustrated. He seems easily frustrated, and that's why, back to what Virgil said, about Kovalev quitting. That wouldn't surprise me. He's not really going to knock Andre Ward out because Andre Ward's too smart for that to let him land flush on him or set a trap. That's not going to happen, and I just see it being. I just see Ward coming in with a little momentum because he won. He already tasted the power. It's like the joke is out. The power, once you tasted it, there's no reason to fear it anymore. So it's a little different going into this fight. You know what I'm saying? He knows.
Yeah.
Andre Ward knows how much of those shots he can take. You know what I'm saying? How much of that power he can take and when to not take it. So um, I don't see much Kovalev can really do besides coming there on his A game and fight the best fight he can fight. Andre Ward is not going to present you with a lot of opportunities. He's not going to make a lot of mistakes. It's just not going to happen, man. I mean, he's a tough shell to crack.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, Olympic gold medal, you don't get that for nothing. So, I mean, his resume speaks for itself. And, I mean, you don't get a resume like that in boxing for free. So,
yeah, that's true.
You compare everything, him and Kovalev, the competition, the Olympic background. It's just, Andre Ward is a level ahead of most fighters. Mm-hmm. But he just happened to be at 168 pounds, 175 pounds right now. But anything can happen. I'm not saying the knockout is off the table, but it's just, even for the knockout, he got to fight the perfect fight. A knockout is just not going to fall in his hands on Andre Ward. It's not.
Yeah, he's got to hope that he has that moment where Ward makes one of those mistakes again. Like I said, like after that first mistake, 10 rounds, he could never catch him again. Ward was on the inside, Ward was on the outside, but he could never hit him cleanly to, put him on wobbly legs. He could never put him down again.
Right.
Or he couldn't just put him out. So, again, that kind of makes me look at Kovalev and think that I don't want to put his boxing ability down, but again, I think it's his power that really dominates him. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's what it is, man.
Because, if he didn't have the power, he'd probably be...
He'd be a tomato can.
Yeah, he would have already had a lawsuit, too.
Dude, if he didn't have the power, he wouldn't even be on the stage that he's on right now. I mean, he would be another guy.
Yeah.
Without the power, he would be another guy. He don't do nothing special without the power. The power makes everything look special. You throw a nice combination and you knock somebody out because of the power, but you throw that same combination and the guy walk right through it. I mean, it ain't impressive, and I really just think, he can box, but it's the power. The power turns him from a C to a B fighter.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas Andre Ward, he don't have the power, he don't have the size, he don't have none of the advantages. It's just all skill. It's all skill.
Yeah, it's all skills. Everything he's doing is like, okay, if I don't have this, I got to be able to do this.
Exactly.
And no other guy can, when he's in there in the ring, no other guy can figure it out.
No.
And that's when you see that's pure skill, It's like Kovalev, like I said, every time he's in there, the guy that he's fighting opposite is thinking of the power at some point, Like when he was in there with Ward, Ward was thinking of the power the first few rounds until he figured it out and how to kind of nullify it. Because once you go back and look too, like Virgil Hunter said, they were able to stop his right hand.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people didn't think he was able to, but they were actually able to stop his right hand. It was mostly the jab that was a problem.
Right. But that's the thing, Ant. Anything can be nullified. He's not doing anything special.
Right.
Any fighter that's smart and has a good trainer can nullify. You can even take the power away. You can take the power away. And that's why I say Andre Ward is that special and that smart of a fighter that I think now he's at 175. He's been in there with this guy. I think it's going to be a different fight, man. The worst case scenario is Andre Ward gets cocky, which he's not a cocky guy, and he's not known to do that, but I have seen a few little things. That'll be the worst case scenario. He get cocky and make a mistake and, it's lights out. But other than that, man, I just I just really, I really don't see it. And another thing is the anger that Kovalev is bringing to the ring. You know what I mean? He's mad. Andre Ward ain't mad. SOG ain't mad.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna make a big difference. You know what I mean? You cannot go into a fight mad. He's not mad at the judges. Why is Kovalev not mad at the judges? Be mad at the judges. He's
Yeah.
mad at Andre Ward. And it's gonna be directing that anger to Andre Ward, and it's gonna be a mistake. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a mistake, man. You can't go with the son of God with anger, man. You just can't. And it's not even. It's just, you can't
It's
do.
not what it's not his character. Yeah.
Yeah, you cannot go at the son of God cursing and being nasty and negative. How Kovalev has been, and I think that I mean, you're gonna have to punish you against the SOG, and I mean, it's
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna come down to that. That energy. I mean, like what
thank you.
Kovalev's side, he's bringing that personal energy, that anger, that bad blood, and it's a lot of bad blood, like where it's only on his side, and Ward, like you said, Ward, he's not provoking him,
Mhm.
and that's where you kind of see it's the mental edge because
Exactly.
Ward's not saying the damn thing. It's all Kovalev just looking at him, and it's putting all these thoughts in his mind and saying, look at him. He's like, look at him. He got my belts. And then he's
Exactly.
like, I won. Then he's like, oh no, I gassed out. Oh no, my trainer this, I overtrained that.
I had to, it's just been, and that's what I say. And when Manny lost to Timothy Bradley,
Yeah.
a whole bunch of excuses.
No.
I thought I won, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't mad at Timothy Bradley. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference between, I mean, being a champion and not really being a champion. To me, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
Right.
that's the difference. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He don't have no reason to be mad at Andre Ward. Why are you mad at Andre Ward?
No. No. Again, like you said, it's the judges. Like I said, it's the
Right.
judges that Kathy Duval, his manager, okayed. She okayed them. She said they were all right. And
Exactly.
yeah.
Andre Ward, he didn't do nothing dirty. He wasn't throwing the head. You can't say it was the head, but the fight went 12 rounds. It went to the judges. But you mad at
Yeah.
Andre Ward. You trying to defame his character and say negative things about him. And like I say, man, you can't do that about the son of God who ain't did nothing but project positivity since he been on the scene.
Right.
You can't find nothing bad about him. That's not saying he's perfect, but that's just not his energy, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Because
like he said in 24/7, I don't like Kovalev.
yeah,
I
and he
don't.
has the right to say that. Yeah.
Right.
That's who Kovalev should be mad at. And even then, he should just be like, hey, I'm going to go back to the gym, look at what I did wrong, and, I'm going to correct it. But
Yeah.
going in here with childish name calling on, Twitter and all of that, like, I don't even look at Twitter. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I don't even know half the time what he's saying. And
Yeah.
Andre Ward said
Yeah.
the same thing. He don't go in there until like somebody relays it back to him, and then he says, this is what he's doing with his time is just calling him this, that, throwing that N word out there.
Right.
Again, that just makes him look bad.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, he got to realize, and I mean, like me, we doing a commentary on this fight, but I mean, I can't lie, I do feel some type of personal way. I mean, this guy out here spewing, negative,
Mm-hmm.
stereotypes, and I mean, it's hard for me to even root for the dude. I ain't gonna lie, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's honest. Yeah, like I can't root for him because, like I said, if he's that type of person, that means he's not a person that cares or supports me. So I'd be like, why should I feel the same way? Like I can respect him in the ring, It's like if you fight him, like, I wouldn't deny him a fight, like, or deny him a win, or if he want to fight, you know.
Exactly.
If the judges gave him this, if the judges gave him this fight, I wouldn't get mad.
Right. And I'm not judging him on nothing about being Russian or wherever he's from. I'm not judging him on none of that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? None of that. You know, strictly boxing skills and personality. You know
right.
what I'm saying? But, you know, for him to be saying, you know, he had the thing with the Adonis Steve and the monkey thing. And then, like you say, is, you know, some stories out there about him dropping the N word and all that stuff. I mean, that's just not cool with me. And I mean, like I say, you know, we doing a commentary. I'm trying to be unbiased, but
Yeah.
know, personally, you know, I can't root for a guy like that. He ain't. That's not good for the sport.
Because again, too, like we saying with Kovalev, man, like a lot of the things that just make you be like, you get sick of hearing is just like, you don't hear what he's doing in camp. Like, you're not like, oh man, he's making improvements. It's always
Right.
social media and the negative things, like the trainer. It's never anything like, oh, he's doing this, he's looking good.
Right.
You hear
Right.
training camp stories, even on 24/7. Like, you just heard about him changing conditioning coaches, but it wasn't. It was more about the first fight. Like, I'm still mad about that. I'm mad about the judge.
Exactly. It was all. It wasn't about, okay, I bought some new guys and some sparring partners. I bought this guy from this camp. You know, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you
Yeah, show
know,
me you knocking somebody out or something in sparring, breaking their nose, something like you mad like that. Moving on from Kovalev, looking at Andre Ward's side, like for Andre Ward, you know, he said that the first fight he didn't really get that much road work in as far in his training, you know, that go round. But he said everything else was still the same, like as far as sparring and, you know, all of the other training. So, um, do you think for him that this is going to be like round 13? You think he's just going to pick up where he left off?
that's what I think. You know, because like you say, the last half of the fight, he seen he was having success. He made the adjustments, and I think that's just common sense to, you know, keep going with what you ended off on.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You ended off on a positive note with those last, you know, second half of the fight. So why would you switch that up? You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion, you know, but I definitely think we looking forward to round 13, you know.
And for Ward, man, like a lot of his fighting on the inside was getting, you know, it was kind of his fighting was kind of getting shut down every time Kovalev tried to get him in that headlock or he like hook his arms. You know, every time, you know, Ward would kind of duck his head under his jab, he would grab him real quick. What do you think
Yeah.
Ward has to do to stop that, man?
I mean, like I said before, Ant, I mean, Ward is coming to the division with like all the disadvantages. He's a small guy. You know, he's the, you know, Kovalev is the bigger and stronger guy. It's just, I think that's just a matter of Kovalev being a bigger guy, being strong, and having those like long arms to be able to do that, you
Mm,
know, to a smaller guy. You know, Kovalev got some long arms, and, you know, Andre Ward is the smaller guy. So coming in and being strong, just able to nullify that like that. You know, I've seen Andre Ward use that and be, you know, proactive with it in other fights, you know, fighting, you know, maybe 160 guys more of his size, but on the bigger guys, just, you know, Kovalev just was seemed like it was too strong. That tactic just wasn't really working, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah, well, I'm
and
sure after 12 rounds, that because Andre like a little pit bull. It ain't like he was
the
just.
dog, man, people don't want to admit that, but you know, he's not just a guy that boxes. I mean, when you look at his style, he ain't like the traditional defensive boxer like Floyd Mayweather or
Yeah,
one.
he's not the brawler.
Mm-mm.
He's kind of in his own little, you know, lane. I mean, you got, you know, Rigondeaux. He's in his own lane. You know, some
Yeah.
of these guys are in their own lane. You know what I mean? And like you say, War can, like, to me, ain't do it all.
Yeah, he'll do what he needs to do against a certain type of guy, but you won't see him fight a certain style every fight. You know, he's not in the same type of stance, same type of game plan. Like when he sees a certain guy like Froch or Kessler, he approaches it a different way and takes away what they have. You know, I think I think that early inside stuff might benefit him as long as he can like get in there and not get held. But one of the things that Ward was doing, I went back and looked at the fight, was like which was an advantage for him, was like when Kovalev would throw the jab, he kind of turned his head more, kind of moved his head instead of backing straight up. He would be able to kind of dip him and counter. Because like whenever Ward backed straight up, he was getting hit straight in the face.
You got to know, backing straight up, a trainer will tell you that's not a good way to avoid a punch. You know what I'm saying? To be honest. So, and
there was a
Andre
few
Ward,
times. Oh, I'm sorry. What'd you say? Yeah. Like there was some times like whenever he would like double it and he's still backing up, Kovalev was just like snapping his head back. But like the times when he was waiting in the center, like in the pocket, when Kovalev would throw it, he would just dip, use more head movement, waist movement.
lateral movement. That's what you got to do though, because I mean, Kovalev, he might got 70-inch reach.
He looked like a cruiserweight, so he's got long reach.
Stepping back you might miscalculate that. If you move your head to the side, that's guaranteed. You're gonna slip the punches. But that's not a good thing. I don't think to be doing anyway. Not on a guy that's like big and long and linky like a Kovalev. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's stuff Andre Ward and Virgil gonna go back and watch the tape and go to the drawing board, because Andre Ward, like I said, he can't fight that same fight, ain't?
No, he can't.
He can't fight that same fight. So he got something, and he admitted that. He said, man, even though I want to fight, we went back to the drawing board. It's
Right.
things we need to fix. And I mean, and that's win, lose, or draw. Everybody got to go back to the drawing board. The champion don't just go home and kick up his feet necessarily. Not if he want to stay the champion.
Right. And for me, like if Ward had lost, I think he would approach it the same way. He wouldn't have been, complaining, saying, "Oh, I was robbed." Because for me, like with Ward, this whole fight, it's not personal for him. As far as his feelings, is being emotional. I think he feels more upset with his performance than he is with Kovalev. I think that's why he's taking this fight, because I think the thing that's not sitting well with him is the way he fought, and it just didn't really. It wasn't a great performance as far as technical.
And I'm gonna tell you too, Andre Ward is a humble guy, but he's a prideful guy. Getting dropped, that didn't sit right with him either. And I don't know if he feels like, man, he ain't even on the level that had dropped me, or he just felt like I made a mistake and paid for it. But that ain't sit right with him. You saying on 24/7, the first thing he said when he came behind stage was what? Y'all was worried about me, wouldn't y'all? Don't lie.
Yeah.
Y'all thought it was over. You know what I'm saying? So,
like, how many people think it's over for him? Raise your hand.
that was on his mind. I mean, and like it would be for any fight. I'm not, dogging him or nothing about it, but that, he like, oh, that's something, because a knockdown is forever in boxing. It ain't like MMA. Boxing, that's remember forever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like MMA, you get dropped, keep going, but knockdown, they're gonna hold that over. Yeah.
On times, man, you couldn't even, you know what I'm saying? So
right.
I like you say, he can't come in and fight the same fight, and I think Andre Ward is smart enough and humble enough and focused enough to know what he got to do. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
as far as a call of the fight, what's your pick?
Of course, I'm gonna roll my boy SOG. And I'm gonna say Andre Ward gonna get the decision again if Kovalev don't quit. If he don't quit, Andre Ward by decision. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm standing on that.
Yeah, I gotta go with Andre Ward by decision, because just gotta factor in the fact that he's just from what I've seen, he's a smart fighter. He learns his lesson. He learns from his mistakes. So, if he did like he said, him and Verge watched that tape, they already know what they got to do and what mistakes that were made. But of course, they know going in, Kovalev ain't gonna fight that same fight.
Right.
He's not gonna fight that same fight. So I think,
but like I think Andre Ward said, how much can a guy like Kovalev really change? I mean,
if he does try to change, I think it's not gonna benefit him either. I think
it's not going. It's not. You're not just going to switch up in the ninth ending and be good at that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Andre Ward, he been switching up every fight he's fought. Because he had to fight this style. He had to fight Sakio Bika, who big head and rough.
Yeah, rough guy, man.
We had to see. Like I say, the first round is going to be very revealing.
Yeah.
Very revealing. So round 13. We're gonna learn a lot from.
But that's pretty much all we got. Picking war by decision. Ain't being biased, just being real.
Just being real, brother. That's it, man.
My name's Anthony.
And this is P.
Peace.